unlimited broadband, just $40 a month. Act now for this free modem and a free month of service. Internet for your desktop or laptop on America's most affordable 3G network with no contracts to sign and no overages. Call, click, or come in today. Get the free modem, free month of service, but only for a limited time. Get respect for your wallet. Cricket.
It's frustrating.
Sad. There you are in the supermarket, and they just walk by.
Like they don't even know.
Don't know what, Mr. Banana?
What we do, how we can help.
I just can't take it.
Doctors know that a vegetarian diet, rich in fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, can help prevent certain cancers, obesity,
heart disease,
and diabetes.
How can they even sell hamburgers?
Now.
I'm glad I said it.
Brought to you by the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine.
I feel better.
Friday at 11, Budgeting Basics.
Kids can overspend.
Don't send your kids to college without Money 101.
You have to know how much you can afford.
The crash course every student needs to stay debt-free. ABC2 News Friday on your set, net, and cell. Baltimore's most accurate forecast, certified by Weather Rate, only on ABC2.
Detailing his plans to kill, why couldn't authorities stop him? While police do troll the web, hunting for intelligence about hate groups, terrorists, and gangs, they do not typically look at the internet postings of tens of millions of individual Americans.
We don't have the resources, don't have the time.
Authorities are dissecting Sodini's website to see if anyone read what he wrote. But he was a loner, so it's doubtful anyone saw any of his violent rants.
Apparently, Sodini intended his password-protected writings to be seen only after he died.
When you write a blog that nobody reads, it's like screaming a threat that nobody hears.
The best chance of finding out about an imminent threat on the web is if the person posting it is part of a social network, like Facebook or Twitter, where scores of people will potentially see it and tip off police. Even then, it may not be an easy call for authorities.
There's a continuum between just being annoying and being a menace, and it's very difficult to tell where somebody appears on that spectrum.
If the threat is specific and imminent, police have tedious steps to take before they seek a search or arrest warrant from a judge.
You would be looking to see whether or not they've got any kind of history, do they have access to weapons.
And the threshold for a judge to act is high.
Mere words alone are usually not sufficient. He's got the capacity to do it. He's got, not only just the plans, but the means in which to carry it out.
Sometimes even tipping off police doesn't work. In Finland, police were told about the suspect's YouTube video. They went to talk to him. The next day, he went on his rampage. Pierre Thomas, ABC News, Washington.
An experimental swine flu vaccine will be given to the first U.S. volunteers today willing to give it a shot. The World Health Organization says development of the vaccine is on track, and some countries may have the shots by next month. The government wants nearly 160 million Americans to get the swine flu vaccine. Public health investigators today outlined prevention policies for schools before students head back to class.
Willing to give the shot a shot.
That's right.
All right, well, here's a look at your Friday forecast. Thunderstorms from the Dakotas to Illinois with late day hail, and damaging winds. Heavy rain in Montana, Idaho, and Oregon. Gusty winds with the threat of wildfires in California and Nevada. Showers in northern New England and thunderstorms in Florida.
Cooler in the northwest, just 66 in Seattle today, 67 in Boise. In the southwest, 91 in Albuquerque, 106 in Phoenix. 80 in Detroit, 80 in Chicago, that is, 77 in Detroit, 80s for most of the Northeast. This is one of those days. It's a Friday.
You'd think reading that every day would make it easier for us.
We just cannot talk today.
It's okay, we have the weekend. All right, well, triple-digit temperatures are typical for Phoenix this time of year, and that means some unwanted guests.
As the summer heats up, snakes are venturing into neighborhoods. Look at that little guy right there, coiling up in yards, slithering around cactuses and driveways. Wildlife experts have been flooded with calls from panicked homeowners. Yuck. They say it's only going to get worse as temperatures rise.
The experts say many people forget they live in the desert and there are snakes nearby.
Hard to forget when you see that. We'll be right back with more World News Now.
World News Now weather brought to you by Epiduo Acne Treatment.
Day 87, and Tyler B is still in that aisle, determined to find the answer for his acne.
Kid, get a life. I'm trying. The truth is, acne, even when it's mild, is a medical condition.
Huh?
Medical as in doctor?
And that's how Tyler came come to his senses, sort of, and learned about once-a-day prescription Epiduo Gel. If you're not getting the results you want, ask your doctor about Epiduo, 2 of the most doctor-prescribed acne-fighting ingredients in one gel medication, a product you can't get in the acne aisle. Dryness, redness, peeling, stinging, burning, or itching may occur. Don't use irritating products when using Epiduo. Overexposure to sun lamps, extreme wind, or cold may increase the risk for irritation. Use of sunscreen and protective clothing is advised. Go to truthaboutzits.com and learn how to pay no more than $20 for your Epiduo prescription.
Awesome.
To learn more about Epiduo Gel, talk to your doctor, call, or go to truthaboutzits.com.
When it comes to going bald, you now have a choice. Advances in medical science have resulted in the world's first and only permanent solution to hair loss.
It is your real hair. It's your natural hair. You wash it, you cut it, you swim with it.
Bosley is the world's most experienced hair restoration experts, having pioneered virtually every major advancement in the art and science. Hair restoration experts, having pioneered virtually every major advancement in the art and science of hair restoration.
I'm very satisfied, very happy with what I've done. This has got to be one of the best decisions I've made in my life, I'll tell you that.
Bosley Hair Restoration is a relatively simple outpatient procedure. The results look completely natural, and it's affordable on nearly any budget. Call the toll-free number now to receive your free, no-obligation information kit that will help you decide if hair restoration at Bosley is right for you. You don't have to accept going bald. Do something about it right now.
Call 1-800-750-6401. That's 1-800-750-6401. Call now.
Tonight, why do millions of women only feel pain, not pleasure from sex? How did she find her voice after 11 years of silence? And how did he survive with his heart outside his ribs? Watch an all-new hour of medical mysteries on 2020 tonight.
He showed you how to survive in the jungle and succeed in the boardroom. This time, Mark Burnett means business.
We're going to make money on this together.
Sunday, 5 self-made millionaires risk their own money.
How about this deal? I want 70% of your company.
To give moguls in the making.
I will work till this dream is a success.
A shot at their dream.
What are you looking for?
$2 million?
What? ABC's Shark Tank. Series premiere Sunday 9/8 Central on ABC.
In 2 days, I'm hosting a special 11 Nights of Millionaire.
ABC Sunday.
Can you hear me now? That is probably what a pelican in an Idaho zoo may have been asking after swallowing a cell phone. Visitors noticed the pelicans playing with the phone before one of them decided to turn it into lunch. Zookeepers couldn't figure out which pelican ate the phone. They were just about to x-ray the entire flock when the culprit puked up the phone. The bird is fine and nobody has claimed that phone. I wonder if it rang at all while it was...
Where do we find these stories?
No.
Well, filmmaker John Hughes has died. You will know him from movies like Home Alone, The Breakfast Club, or Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah, sad news. His work defined an entire generation of young people and made a lot of stars out of a lot of young actors, too. Martin Bashir takes a look.
Can't believe you can't get me out of this.
For a generation of Americans, it was that music and those cars pulling into a suburban Chicago high school that captured a moment in time.
Does Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
The adult John Hughes, it seems, had a knack for finding the drama, angst, and pain of the teenage years. His first hit, 16 Candles, channels the thoughts and fears of the awkward, overlooked high school girl.
What's happening, hot stuff?
In The Breakfast Club, he defined, examined, and then turned upside down the high school caste system.
So you just stripped to the things that you know. Shopping, nail polish.
And in Pretty in Pink, he took on the issues of class and money.
I mean, this is an incredibly romantic moment, and you're ruining it for me.
Following those immensely successful string of films, Hughes kept going back to high school in various incarnations. Weird Science was every high school geek's fantasy movie.
What would you little maniacs like to do first?
Bueller.
And in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, he took the other side of the class, featuring the popular kid. After Hughes's huge commercial success as the writer of Home Alone, he spent his last years writing a string of largely forgettable comedies under a series of pseudonyms. But for millions of Americans, many now with their own teenagers to raise, It's that library and that music that will define high school forever.
Sincerely yours, The Breakfast Club.
So sad. And again, the man behind all those movies, John Hughes, the director, died yesterday in Manhattan while taking a walk at the age of 59 years old. I didn't realize he was that young, and it only accentuates how young he must have been when he directed these iconic movies. Just a young guy putting out all these blockbuster hits.
Given that he met his wife in high school, you have to wonder if perhaps that's why a lot of these movies revolved around that theme, that nostalgia, because he and his high school sweetheart ended up having 2 children. And maybe that was the best time of his life, and he wanted to capture that.
We can all relate with so many of those characters.
Yeah, I love that song. Every time I hear that song, I think of The Breakfast Club.
I like, where is my automobile?
Long. What's his name? Long?
Well, we can't say the name, I don't think. All right, in a moment, looking back at one of President Gerald Ford's close calls.
Yes, that's right. The woman who tried to shoot Mr. Ford, her upcoming parole, and how we covered it back in 1975. You're watching World News Now.
ABC's World News Now will continue after this from our ABC stations.
Find official government information online. Search for jobs, student loans, Social Security, and other benefits. It's where the government comes together. USA.gov.
Science and Kirk have a reputation for not backing down.
You call Science and Kirk, they have a reputation for winning.
I'm Ryan Science. We work hard, we don't back down, and we get results for our clients. That's how we earned our reputation.
If you've been seriously injured, Science and Kirk can get you the money you deserve.
They put you in control.
We work for you and we get results. Get what you deserve. Call 1-800-LAWYERS 24 hours a day. If you have a phone or a computer, you have a lawyer. 1-800-LAWYERS.
Switch to ABC2 News at 11 and Mary Beth Marsden. Breaking news first.
We were the first to bring it to you tonight.
Saving you money, keeping you safe. Mary Beth Marsden.
We're the reason more of Baltimore is moving bedtime to 11:30.
ABC2 News at 11 works for you. Switch and you'll see.
Later this month, a would-be presidential assassin will get out of jail. Lynette Squeaky Fromm pulled a gun on President Gerald Ford back in 1975.
She was convicted, spent more than 30 years behind bars, and now Fromm is eligible for parole. From the ABC News Vault, a special report from the day Fromm tried to kill the president, September 5th, 1975.
We interrupt our regular programs to bring you the following special report. I'm Harry Reasoner in New York. A little while ago, several hours ago, in Sacramento, California, a young woman apparently attempted to shoot President Ford as he walked from his hotel to the California state capitol to address the legislature. She was standing in line with other people with whom he was shaking hands, and we have tape of the incident. Here's the president beginning the walk from the old hotel about a block by a kind of park over the capitol. At one point here, just very briefly, you see a woman in a red dress, Lynn Alice Fromm, 26, arrested after the incident after Secret Service police prevented her from firing her gun.
Move it back.
Okay, we got enough of that crap.
Now the president sees the gun, is pushed away by Secret Service men, and hustled along. After another Secret Service man had seen the gun first, grabbed the gun with one hand, the woman's other hand with his other hand, lifted it up and threw it to the ground. After the incident, the president went ahead and made his speech, and then just moments ago, he came before reporters to talk about the incident.
Let me say very emphatically that I think the Secret Service and the other law enforcement agencies that were on the job were doing a superb job, and I want to thank them for everything they did in this unfortunate incident. And let me add with great emphasis, this incident, under no circumstances, will prevent me or preclude me from contacting the American people as I travel from one state to another and from one community to another. In my judgment, it's vitally important for a president to see the American people. And I'm going to continue to have that personal contact and relationship with the American people. To have that personal contact and relationship with the American people. I think it's vital, and I intend to carry it out.
The woman thrown to the ground and arrested, as we said, was Lynn Alice Frome, 26 years old, a prominent member of the Charles Manson family, the Los Angeles mass murderers. Steve Bell has a report on the arrest.
Harry, Lynn Alice Frome is 26 years old. She has been identified as one of the so-called Manson girls, a member of the Charles Manson family involved in criminal activities on the coast some time ago. She was arrested today after the agents knocked the gun from her hand. She was reportedly quoted as saying things such as, "It didn't go off," apparently a reference to a gun, and also, "The country's going to pieces." The FBI, or I should say the Secret Service agent, Larry Boondorf, who actually disarmed her, turned her over to other agents and to local police who took her to the city police headquarters here in Sacramento, where she's being held.
Recapitulating, President Ford was walking from his hotel to the California state capitol to address the legislature and to meet Governor Brown when a young woman tried to shoot him, apparently. The gun did not go off. She was manhandled to the ground by a Secret Service agent. She's being held. She's Lynn Alice Frome, 26 years old, also known as Squeaky, a prominent member of the Charles Manson family of mass murderers. This is Harry Reisner.
And remember, this assassination attempt came about 12 years after President Kennedy was assassinated, and there was a federal statute passed after his assassination, making this obviously a severe crime with a life sentence. She was the first person convicted under that new crime.
Oh, and even for this, for Ford, poor guy, 17 days later, there was another attempted assassination, and that one, someone grabbed the woman's arm, and it deflected the bullet, but she is now life in prison. So, or she was paroled in December of 2007, rather, so she's 80 now almost.
And now Squeaky Frome will be paroled as well.
Yeah.
All right, morning papers coming up. Stick around.
Retailers don't want you to see the information about to be disclosed.
Hi, I'm Tony Galata. This is my wife, Carrie Galata. This is our house, my wife's dream house. And we furnish most everything in this house with products from Direct Buy. We purchased the breakfast table and chairs. We looked at that table in some other places.
They ran around $3,500 and we picked it up for around $1,500.
If you're building, remodeling, or simply redecorating a room, there's now a way to buy virtually everything you need at prices you never imagined possible.
We've saved, I think, well over $20,000.
Just on our kitchen alone, we saved almost $10,000.
It adds up to about a $30,000 to $40,000 savings overall.
Call the number on your screen now to receive your free insider's guide to buying direct. Plus, you'll also receive a free visitor's pass for an exclusive tour of your local Direct Buy showroom. Call right now to get started buying the Direct Buy way. Stop paying retail and become part of Direct Buy showroom. Call right now to get started buying the Direct Buy way. Stop paying retail and become part of Direct Buy, the private members-only showroom and design center. Don't wait another minute. Pick up the phone and call now.
Attention, all Medicare beneficiaries who need assistance getting around their homes. There is a Medicare benefit that may qualify you for a new power chair or scooter at little to no cost to you. Stay tuned for this important Medicare benefit information and free scooter guarantee. Imagine one scooter or power chair that could improve your mobility and your life. One Medicare benefit that, with private insurance, may entitle you to pay little to nothing to own it. One company that can make it all happen.
Great news. Your power chair will be paid in full.
The Scooter Store. Why should you call the Scooter Store today? Because their mobility experts are also Medicare experts. And that means the Scooter Store is your best shot at qualifying for a scooter that costs you little to nothing.
Hi, I'm Doug Harrison. At the Scooter Store, 97% of our Medicare customers pay little to nothing out of pocket. How do we do it? We know what it takes to get you your power chair or scooter. It's our strength, it's our mission, and we back it up with the Scooter Store guarantee. If we qualify you and Medicare denies your claim for a new power chair or scooter, I'll give it to you absolutely free.
I paid into Medicare all my life, and when I needed it, the benefit was there for me. The Scooter Store made it so easy.
I didn't pay a penny out of pocket for my power chair. Medicare and my insurance covered it all.
The scooter store got me back out into the world again, and they're some of the nicest people you'll ever talk to.
There is a Medicare benefit that may qualify you for a new power chair or scooter at little to no cost to you.
Call the scooter store for free information today.
Call 1-800-381-3535 for your free information from the scooter store, and we'll also send you this pocket-sized lighted magnifier as our gift. Absolutely free, just for calling. There's no obligation, so call the scooter store today at 1-800-381-3535.
World News Now delivers your morning papers.
All right, morning paper time. You remember the other day when Vanita dared me to put my feet on the desk? Well, I dare her now to do the intro dance to the morning papers that you were doing during the commercial break. Here we go. Let's hear it for her. Yes. So you think you can't dance?
I like to tap my way into your heart in the morning.
Hey, so we had an outing yesterday. We had a morning show breakfast. Willis, Peter, and you and I went out to eat in Jersey.
Jeremy, what do you...
And, we ordered, some average portions, didn't you think?
We all had a couple things. You can see Jeremy there had a pancake stuffed with some yummy stuff.
Yes.
Willis,
Willis,
I think he thought we were expensing this, which we weren't.
Willis,
I think he thought we were expensing this, which we weren't.
He had a lot of food. There was the waffle, and then the French fries.
And then don't forget about his proteins, a whole separate plate with the bacon, the eggs, the beef.
Sausage. Wow, how about that? Willis, how you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling fine. Let's go again.
Ready for round two? Oh, and Vanita, by the way, on her diet, did not eat very much at all.
Wedding diet.
You were very good.
Very hard.
Hey, we don't have time to do any morning papers.
Oh, I'm okay with that. But you know what we do have time
10
for?
seconds.
Yes.
The polka!
Yeah.
I'll tap to it.
Imagine relaxing to the world's most beautiful music. Imagine 100 of the most soothing melodies of all time. Now, Time Life proudly brings you 100 classics for relaxation on 5 CDs for a very special price. You'll hear more than 5 hours of masterpieces by the world's greatest composers. Call now to get 100 classics for relaxation on 5 CDs for just $24.99. But wait, order in the next 10 minutes with your credit card and we'll cut the price to just $9.99. That's right, you'll get 5 relaxing CDs for the incredible price of $9.99. preview other beautiful classical CDs. Satisfaction guaranteed. So call now and get 100 classics for relaxation on 5 CDs for just $9.99.
Call 1-800-641-3596 to order 100 classics for relaxation on 5 CDs for just $9.99 plus shipping and handling when you call in the next 10 minutes with your credit card.
Jamie Costello and Megan Pringle voted Best Morning News Team by Baltimore Magazine.
The Senate's vote to extend the popular rebate deal.
This program is helping to put life back in our economy.
Why some senators say it's a bad idea.
Then flu fears. Tests begin today on the swine flu vaccine. Why so many Americans may need this shot.
And the gourmet touch from Julia Child.
And then you just start your just shaking back and forth like that.
Her omelet technique from years ago remains delicious today. It's Friday, August 7th.
From ABC News, this is World News Now.
Yes, after the big thumbs down I got yesterday, I won't start this half hour with my Julia Child. And
nobody gave you a thumbs down. I liked it.
Yours wasn't exactly a ringing endorsement.
It was. Bon appetit.
That's better.
Pete, what do you think?
He doesn't.
He picked yours. He pointed at you.
Oh, he likes
yeah.
mine. Very good. Pete, you're my new favorite.
No, now you have to do it quickly.
Bon appetit. Bonjour. And more of that this half hour. Good morning. I'm Jeremy Hunt.
And I'm Vanita Nair. Well, if you were thinking about trading in that gas guzzler and getting a break from the government, good news. The deal has been extended.
Yeah, we've been telling you about this. The Senate has approved adding another $2 billion into the Cash for Clunkers program, giving rebates until Labor Day. But critics are asking, then what? Viviana Hurtado joins us now from Washington. Good morning, Viviana.
Good morning, Jeremy and Vanita. The president issued a statement after the vote. He thanked senators for extending the Cash for Clunkers program, he said, at a benefit to the economy and the environment.
The ayes are 60, the nays are 37. The bill is passed.
The Senate voted to extend the Cash for Clunkers program until Labor Day. Democratic lawmakers praised this stimulus program.
This program is helping to put life back in our economy, helping to save and create jobs, and really get our automobile sector moving forward again.
Senate supporters voted down amendments that would stall the $2 billion initiative. That's because any changes here would require another vote in the House, currently on summer break. Still, Republicans argued Cash for Clunkers is another government handout.
I've had many calls from people who have old golf clubs and they'd like to have some cash for them.
Other winners besides the ailing auto industry include car buyers, who on average got double what their clunkers were worth, according to Edmunds.com. The website also reports that prior to the program, 39% of new car sales involved a trade-in vehicle. After, 51% were trade-ins. Before the program, 9% of exchanged vehicles would qualify as clunkers. After, 39% qualify. But the program hasn't been glitch-free. Some dealers worry that they would be on the hook if the program ran out of money, ask customers to return the cars.
I blame it on the bureaucracy at the federal government. I mean, to me, it seems like a relatively simple program, and, you know, they should have known that it was going to be very popular. And then, boom, bring the car back.
Extending Cash for Clunkers has some automakers, including GM and Ford, considering an increase in production, which means some laid-off workers could soon be called back to work. Jeremy and Vanita.
Viviana, thanks. President Obama says the clunker rebate program is just part of the stimulus plan helping put the brakes on the recession. He admits recovery is slow, but adds his administration inherited this economic mess. There are some encouraging signs. First-time jobless claims dropped last week, and the July unemployment report due today is expected to show job losses are slowing. But the recession is far from over. A record 34.4 million Americans are now receiving food stamps. That is more than 10% of the population.
One of the world's top terror leaders has apparently been killed in a CIA missile strike in Pakistan. Baitullah Masood, whose back is to the camera in this rare video of him, was the leader of the Taliban. He is believed to be behind the assassination of Pakistani Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto and a suicide bombing in Lahore. The White House says there is a 95% chance that Masood was killed. This morning, Pakistani intelligence officials are confirming it.
Sonia Sotomayor is now the first Hispanic Supreme Court justice. She was confirmed by the Senate by a 68-31 vote. All the Democrats, except for the absent Senator Edward Kennedy, and 9 Republicans approved her confirmation, as Jan Crawford Greenberg reports.
When the vote was announced,
the nomination of Sonia Sotomayor is confirmed.
There was joy and pride as Hispanics across the country and the president celebrated an historic first.
This is a wonderful day for Judge Sotomayor and her family,
And the president celebrated an historic first.
This is a wonderful day for Judge Sotomayor and her family, but I also think it's a wonderful day for America.
Sotomayor's confirmation was all but certain after she endured 3 days of grilling last month without a major misstep.
Many senators have asked me about my judicial philosophy. Simple. Fidelity to the law.
When Obama nominated the first Hispanic, that posed a problem for Republicans worried about offending a crucial voting bloc. Still, 31 of the 40 did, including party leaders and former presidential candidate John McCain. They cited her speeches and her rulings as an appeals court judge, a decision limiting gun rights, and another against white New Haven firefighters in a reverse discrimination case. They also pointed at Democrats, including then Senator Obama, who voted against President Bush's Supreme Court nominees.
I wish President Obama had chosen an Hispanic nominee whom all senators could support.
Hispanic groups vowed her opponents would pay a steep price.
We do have that power at the voting box, and we will remember those that voted no.
Sotomayor will hit the ground running. The court returns early next month to hear arguments in a major campaign finance case. It also will take up cases on religious expression, congressional power, and whether juveniles can get life in prison for their crimes.
Sotomayor will not change the balance of the court. She's replacing the liberal Justice David Souter. She'll be sworn in on Saturday in a ceremony here at the court, becoming the nation's 111th justice. Jan Crawford Greenberg, ABC News, the Supreme Court.
In suburban Pittsburgh, people shaken by a deadly shooting rampage in a health club paid tribute to the victims. Dozens of people turned out for a vigil in memory of the 3 women who died, offering prayers, lighting candles, and observing a moment of silence. Flowers and mementos were left outside the health club. 4 women shot in the attack are still recovering in the hospital.
Firefighters in Southern California are getting control of a wind-driven brush fire. At one point, it was burning dangerously close to about 50 homes in Winchester, so mandatory evacuations were ordered. But that has now been lifted, and the damage was very limited, so some good news there. Now for your Friday forecast all around the country, thunderstorms from the Dakotas to Illinois, which could turn severe later in the day with large hail, damaging wind, and tornadoes. Heavy rain for eastern Oregon, Idaho, and Montana, and scattered showers in northern New England.
A high of 81 in Boston, 84 in Baltimore, and 91 in Miami, 77 in Salt Lake City, and mid-70s in Fargo and Minneapolis, 90 in St. Louis. And it'll be cooler than normal in the Northwest, just 66 in Seattle and 67 in Boise.
Well, history is coming alive in Texas with the 8th wonder of the world.
The life-size clay terracotta warriors have already lured 100,000 visitors to the Houston Museum of Natural Science. But one statue is really standing out, rather jumping out at visitors.
Look, he's moving. It's actually a living, breathing version of one of the famous 2,000-year-old warriors.
Jumping out at visitors.
Look, he's moving. It's actually a living, breathing version of one of the famous 2,000-year-old warriors, and he is causing a big stir there, taking visitor after visitor by surprise. They walk up, and he leaps out, and they freak out. Look at that.
That would give me a heart attack.
I hope they have one of those resuscitation kits handy, just in case.
We'll be right back.
World News Now weather brought to you by the Scooter Store.
Attention, all Medicare beneficiaries who need assistance getting around their homes. There is a Medicare benefit that may qualify you for a new power chair or scooter at little to no cost to you. Stay tuned for this important Medicare benefit information and free scooter guarantee. Imagine one scooter or power chair that could improve your mobility and your life. One Medicare benefit that, with private insurance, may entitle you to pay little to nothing to own it. One company that can make it all happen.
Great news. Your power chair will be paid in full.
The Scooter Store. Why should you call the scooter store today? Because their mobility experts are also Medicare experts. And that means the scooter store is your best shot at qualifying for a scooter that costs you little to nothing.
Hi, I'm Dan Weston. At the scooter store, more than 91% of our Medicare customers pay little to nothing out of pocket. How do we do it? We know what it takes to get you your scooter or power chair. It's our strength, it's our mission, and we back it up with this free scooter guarantee. If we pre-qualify you for Medicare reimbursement and Medicare denies your claim, we'll give you your new power chair or scooter absolutely free.
I paid into Medicare all my life, and when I needed it, the benefit was there for me. The scooter store made it so easy.
I didn't pay a penny out of pocket for my power chair. Medicare and my insurance covered it all.
The scooter store got me back out into the world again, and they're some of the nicest people you'll ever talk to.
There is a Medicare benefit that may qualify you for a new power chair or scooter at little to no cost to you.
Call the scooter store for free information today.
Improve your mobility and your life. Call 1-800-495-4125 for your free, no-obligation information from the scooter store. Find out if you pre-qualify for Medicare and insurance payment on a brand new power chair or scooter. That number again is 1-800-495-4125.
Do you have a structured settlement or an annuity but find yourself waiting for checks every month? Stop waiting and call Peachtree Settlement Funding today. We'll turn your future payments into cash, so you can pay off your credit card debt, make important purchases, avoid foreclosure. After all, life doesn't wait. Why should you?
To find out how, call Peachtree today at 1-800-581-0733.
In 2 days, I'm hosting a special 11 Nights of Millionaire.
ABC Sunday.
Welcome back. After a shark attack in the Bahamas, a South Florida boy can't wait to get back in the water after 2 operations to close his wounds. Derek and Dale Mitchell were spearfishing when a 7-foot bull shark appeared and chomped down on Derek's leg, tearing through his Achilles tendon. Derek's dad says he even did some research on the frequency of shark attacks before their trip.
I knew it was a possibility, but I mean, we read that it was like a 1 in 11 million chance. So I was willing to take the risk.
On the most severe cases, we're sometimes looking at amputation of a limb, and luckily it didn't come to that, so we're able to save the leg.
The doctor says he will be going home in a few days, but the 9th grader is facing months of physical therapy.
Well, volunteers in 8 U.S. cities roll up their sleeves today to get the first experimental H1N1 swine flu vaccine.
There is intense pressure to roll out a vaccine due to the threat, but there are growing safety questions, too. Here's Lisa Stark.
The government wants nearly 160 million Americans to get the H1N1 swine flu vaccine. Tests are already underway in a handful of countries to make sure the vaccine is safe and effective.
We should have early results during September.
The World Health Organization was bombarded with questions about the vaccine safety. Researchers say there's no reason to think it won't be safe, that the vaccine will be made in the same way by the same companies as the seasonal flu vaccine.
We give these same types of vaccinations all the time to tens of millions of people, and it has a very good safety record.
But many Americans remember the swine flu debacle of 1976.
I don't need another flu shot. I had a flu shot last year. A swine flu epidemic may be coming.
President Gerald Ford ordered a massive vaccination program after a soldier from Fort Dix died from a swine flu virus. The president and 40 million other Americans got the shot, but the vaccine killed more people than the flu. Scientists say we've learned a lot since then.
We know a lot more about vaccines.
But the government admits there still could be rare complications that do not show up in clinical trials.
There's only so much information we can learn about safety before vaccines go into people because they're not tested in millions of people.
Health officials say they're already setting up a system to monitor side effects for use if they begin a mass vaccination program. They promise to let the public know what turns up, good or bad. Lisa Stark, ABC News, Washington.
And of course, that is the big scare when school starts in the fall. For some kids, it's a couple weeks away now.
Right.
Could this really be the resurgence of the swine flu? could it continue to spread?
And will the same thing happen that happened at the end of the last school year when all of these schools were letting out class for days on end trying to clean up their classrooms to get rid of it?
Nervous moments for parents.
Yeah. Still ahead, Julia Child's amazing technique in the kitchen.
While Hollywood tells her story today, we have a rare opportunity to take you back and cook up something special. You're watching World News Now.
ABC's World News Now will continue after this from our ABC stations.
Each year, 1 out of every 3 seniors over 65 will have a serious fall. Even with a phone in every room, the chance of reaching one of them in a fall emergency is less than 10%. But Life Alert can get you help fast, even when you cannot reach a phone.
When you have a heart attack like I did, and there's no one there, Life Alert was there for me.
Because of Life Alert, I have the ability to not feel alone, and my independence is possible because of it.
Life Alert can also be a great alternative to a retirement home.
I couldn't handle the alternative of going to a nursing home. If it wasn't for my Life Alert, that's where I'd be.
Thanks to Life Alert, you can live alone without ever being alone. And that's why I wear one.
Please call 1-800-535-7200 for free information about Life Alert. That's 1-800-535-7200, or visit us on the web at the address on your screen. Don't delay. Call us now at 1-800-535-7200.
This morning, it's a triple play party in the park with 3 idols America can't get enough of. David Cook, Chris Allen, and Adam Lambert. Only on Good Morning America Summer Concert Series, presented by Walgreens.
Just because we saw these things doesn't mean they're going to happen.
Well, this weekend, I am seeing the new movie Julie and Julia for Insomniacs Theater. Of course, it opens today. The Julia in the title is the great cook Julia Child, who really pioneered cooking on TV.
Long before there was Food Network. For 2 decades, she made regular appearances on Good Morning America. So this morning, we are going to the ABC News Vault for Julia Child's first appearance on GMA way back on May 13th, 1980.
One of the most magical things in cooking is the making of an omelet, and we are so lucky today to have with us one of the great magicians of cooking, Julia Child, to explain how any of us, and I repeat, how any of us can make an omelet. And I'm delighted to announce Child to explain how any of us, and I repeat, how any of us can make an omelet. And I'm delighted to announce that Julia, as she, look how fast she did that. You really did it.
But it only takes 20 seconds, which is wonderful.
That's fabulous. Good morning.
You better have the right kind of a pan, and good morning.
Good morning. All right, right pan. What does that mean? How?
That means I'll dump out some butter.
Sure, right on the floor. That's
it. You've got to have it with a long handle, and the sloping sides like this should be about 2 inches deep.
All right.
And then it should be a no-stick pan.
A no-stick.
If the omelet sticks to the pan, you've had it.
And how big across? Big pan, small pan?
It's about 10 inches across and 7.5 at the bottom diameter.
All right, and what actually...
This is the perfect pan.
Okay, and what actually goes into... What are you doing, Julia?
Well, this is the movement, because this is a no-hands omelet. So you shake it. So you're pulling it towards you.
Okay,
you're not
try
tossing,
that.
you just pull it towards you. As you pull it out there, boom, jerk it towards you, jerk it towards you.
Oh, I see, like this.
See? There, you see when they're...
Oh, yeah, they come up.
Now, don't, remember, jerk towards you.
Little edgy,
No, you're still... No, let me do that again.
Okay, show me.
Because it's out there, jerk towards you, and when all of the beans turn over by themselves, you've got it.
Oh, when they all, okay. I'm practicing jerking. Here I am. All right, and what actually goes into the pan? What is it?
All that goes in, we're just doing the 2-egg omelets the best. Can you hand me that little group? Well, practice at home. You'll know it.
I will. I'm practicing right here. All right, now what's in here?
Well, we just got 2 eggs in here.
Yeah.
And a little bit of salt and pepper. And then another, excuse me, very important thing is you got to get the butter in very, very hot in the pan. I've got about a tablespoon of butter.
Okay.
And you look at the butter foam there, and when the foam begins to go down,
right,
it's hot enough. If you don't have a hot enough pan, you ain't got it either.
Ain't got it without a hot pan. All right, are you going to do this one, or is this me?
I'm going to do this one, and then you do the next one.
Okay, I'll be ready.
Heat up that pan.
Okay.
Loads of pans, and in she goes. Now look, here's your movement here. First it shakes around in the bottom.
Right.
Get that out of the way.
Right.
Until it gets set, and then you just start. You're just shaking back and forth like that.
It looks so easy.
Now this one is sticking a little bit. That doesn't make any difference.
I'm still working on my beans, Julia.
Now, are you going to make me an omelet? Another thing is, you're going to make a neater one than this. When you take it out, you just tilt the omelet onto the pan.
It came out great, even if it didn't seem... Now, Julia...
No, you're going to make one.
Positive attitude, right? Positive. I am going to make you a great omelet,
a great omelet. And
is that the spirit?
Butter. Yep.
Thank you. Okay, now, also, as I wait for my butter to set... No, not to set. What is it? No, not to set. What is it? Wait for it, the bubbles to go down, right?
The bubbles to go down,
hot
indicating
pan.
It's hot enough.
Okay.
Yep.
10 inches across, 2 inches deep.
Yep.
Tips turned out.
Yep.
Wait for the butter. Got to have a hot pan, otherwise you ain't got it.
That's right. That's right.
Right, to do the omelet. Waiting for the butter to go down. And you're garnishing beautifully.
That
right?
omelet, so let's see how it is.
Right. How am I doing? It's still a little...
Just about. See, the electric stoves take a little longer than gas stove. In she goes.
In she goes. Give it a plunk. Give it a crack here.
And then do sort of a swish around.
Right. Okay, now wait for it. I got to wait for it to set.
Wait for it to set a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Quite a roughy switch.
Oh, don't mind that.
Yeah.
Okay. Setting nicely,
Setting nicely. And now,
setting nicely. Now start.
Now do the jerking.
Now start it.
But keep it down on the...
Oh, yeah.
There, now you can start raising it and tilting it. Tilt it up a little bit like that. That's almost... Here. Almost got it. Now tilt the pan towards that. There you are. There you are.
By Jove!
By Jove.
He may have done it.
He did it.
He may have done it. Wait, I didn't tilt it exactly.
There.
Huh?
There.
Huh? Hey, is positive attitude, garnish?
Positive attitude, garnish.
Oh, Julia. Julia Child, you're so super.
Take a taste of it?
What? Oh, yes. Oh, that's a must. The only thing that disappoints me?
What?
I don't have a glass of white wine. You always have a glass
Do you have it for breakfast, white wine with omelets?
No, but I'll think about it.
White wine with an omelet. Never tried. But it's breakfast.
It certainly is a good combination, though. I mean, I'd try it. It's interesting, though, because she started... Oh, I apologize.
No, go ahead. You go
we're so formal. No, I was just going to say she started on a TV, a local station. She made an appearance, and people liked her so much that sort of bred the TV show, The French Chef, and then she became a hit.
You should go to Facebook, because our Facebook fan page has all kinds of Julia Child stuff, full recipe segments. You can learn how to cook from Julia, so check it out.
Sorry.
Here's some health information for people over 50. Maybe you don't think you're at risk for heart attack or stroke, but if you've been diagnosed with PAD or have pain or heaviness in your legs, I want to talk to you. You may have heard of poor leg circulation, which could be peripheral artery disease or PAD. With PAD, if you have poor circulation in your legs, you may also have poor circulation in your heart and in your brain, and that can more than double your risk for heart attack or stroke. Now ask yourself, am I at risk? If you're not sure, call for this free information kit to learn more.
Call 1-888-300-5422 to find out what the risks of PAD really are. You'll find a 7-point checklist that helps you understand what could be putting you at risk. You'll find a 7-point checklist that helps you understand what could be putting you at risk. If you have symptoms, you'll learn how treating symptoms is different from reducing your risk. You'll also learn about lifestyle changes and treatment options that can help reduce your risk for heart attack or stroke. There's even a doctor discussion guide for you to bring to your doctor that can help you discuss PAD together. Call 1-888-300-5422 for your free information kit today.
The risk is real. Take the first step. Call today.
Through the years, many things pass from father to son, like Aquavelva Aftershave. Smells great, cools, firms, and tones.
Cool.
Aquavelva, men get it.
Retailers don't want you to see the information about to be disclosed.
Hi, I'm Tony Galata. This is my wife, Carrie Galata. This is our house, my wife's dream house. And we furnish most everything in this house with products from Direct Buy. We purchased the breakfast table and chairs. We looked at that table in some other places.
They ran around $3,500 and we picked it up for around $1,500.
If you're building, remodeling, or simply redecorating a room, there's now a way to buy virtually everything you need at prices you never imagined possible.
We've saved, I think, well over $20,000.
Just on our kitchen alone, we saved almost $10,000.
It adds up to about a $30,000 to $40,000 savings overall.
Call the number on your screen now to receive your free insider's guide to buying direct. Plus, you'll also receive a free visitor's pass for an exclusive tour of your local Direct Buy showroom. Call right now to get started buying the Direct Buy way. Stop paying retail and become part of Direct Buy, the private members-only showroom and design center. Don't wait another minute. Pick up the phone and call now.
Are you and your gray hair facing an identity crisis?
My hair says experience. My hair says energy.
Touch of Gray. The best of both combs away a little gray, never too much, just right.
Now I look like I know what I'm doing and can still do it.
Touch of Gray.
Finally, this half-hour, newspapers are in trouble as readers ditch subscriptions and read news for free on the web.
And now media mogul Rupert Murdoch plans to charge people for reading all of his newspapers online. As the BBC's Matthew Price reports, that is a gamble.
This is the capital city of America's newspaper industry. But for New York's newspaper vendors, the golden age is over. Do you sell the same volume of newspapers as you did?
Not like before. Nowadays, people are not buying papers like New York Times or Financial Times.
The point, of course, is obvious. Why, for instance, would I part with my hard-earned money at a newspaper kiosk to buy a paper, for instance, like the Wall Street Journal, when I can get essentially the same content online for absolutely nothing? Well, that is precisely the question that the Wall Street Journal, owned by Rupert Murdoch, has been grappling with for some time. So this is their business model. While it's true that I can click on some of the news content and read through that at my leisure without paying a penny, when it comes to some of the more premium content just down here, when I click on that, they actually say that I can't read it without subscribing and paying a fee.
We have over 1 million people who put down money every year to get access to the Wall Street Journal online. So people are willing to pay if you have quality content.
Now, Rupert Murdoch wants to extend that model to his other titles. The Sun, for instance. Some will scoff at the idea of paying for online tabloid tittle-tattle. But imagine if the only place you could have seen the recent footage of Michael Jackson's ambulance was a subscription website. Millions would gladly have paid.
We have a gentleman here that needs help.
Even when it seems they have successfully charged for content, it's very important to remember that the money they make has never supported what it costs to produce the content they are charging for.
Rupert Murdoch, one of the most powerful men in media, is now taking on the internet. If he succeeds, he will reshape the way we consume news. If he fails, the newspaper industry could well fail with him. Matthew Price, BBC News, New York.
I don't think he'll succeed.
You don't think people will pay for it?
No, we've had a decade now where we've gotten it for free. Why would we change and start paying?
I know, I kind of agree with you, but then again, if everything is charged, what's our other option?
Yeah, I suppose. We can't steal it any longer.
Our Facebook will always be free, though.
That's right. Go to Facebook, join our fan page. We'll never charge you for that.
ABC2 News on your iPhone. Available at the iTunes App Store now. Be the first to know. Forecasts, video clips, breaking news with just a touch. Download the ABC2 News app for free. Search WMAR only on iTunes.
Click weather on abc2news.com.
Maryland's most powerful radar.
Baltimore's most accurate forecast.
Customize your forecast. Use the interactive radar. Most powerful, most accurate, guaranteed. abc2news.com. See what works for you.
What you working on? My history homework. Isn't that Jennifer's?
Everyone does it. It's called sharing.
Is that another word for cheating?
Mom, Dad, love us enough to ask the important questions. Because if you don't, who will? From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Inventors, do you have an idea for a new product or invention but don't know what to do next? Inventors, do you have an idea for a new product or invention but don't know what to do next? Are you interested in trying to submit your idea to companies for a good faith review and in applying for a patent? If so, InventHelp has free information to help you get started. InventHelp is America's largest inventor service firm with sales offices in major cities nationwide. Call the toll-free number now to see how to get this information. The information includes a form for confidentiality and to record and date your idea, plus materials that explain how to try to submit your idea to companies through InventHelp's databank and how to apply for a patent. InventHelp even offers a virtual invention prototype service. Even if you only have an idea for improving an existing product, you'll want to call for InventHelp's information.
Call the number on your screen. Don't miss out. Call now.
Good morning from WMAR TV ABC2 in Baltimore, Maryland's pioneer television station since 1947.
Taliban target. The most wanted man in Pakistan may be dead. The notorious rebel leader and the military's aggressive manhunt.
Then obsessions of a gunman posted online.
It is easy for me to hide from my emotions for one more day.
Clues about the man in the middle of a deadly rampage.
And unforgettable moments at the White House.
I have never been a quitter.
35 years ago as Richard Nixon resigned. It's Friday, August 7th.
From ABC News, this is World News Now.
Looks like we made it. Another Friday.
Finally, it's here.
Good morning and thanks for being with us on this Friday morning. I'm Vanita Nair.
I'm Jeremy Hubbard. Well, he's probably one of the most wanted terrorists you've never heard of. And now it appears that Batullah Masood is dead.
Pakistani intelligence officials say they think Masood was killed in a CIA missile strike. Here's our senior foreign affairs correspondent, Martha Raddatz.
Batullah Masood, whose back is to the camera in this rare video of him, is enemy number one in Pakistan, believed to be behind some of the most spectacular attacks in that country, including the assassination of Benazir Bhutto in December 2007 and horrific suicide bombings in Lahore this year. U.S. officials consider him a grave threat as well, the nexus of all terror groups in Pakistan. The U.S. and Pakistan have been trying to track Masood for months. 9 of the last 10 CIA drone strikes have been aimed at his network. But U.S. and Pakistani officials believe that a strike in South Waziristan very likely killed Masood. A senior U.S. official saying there is a 95% strike in South Waziristan very likely killed Masood. A senior U.S. official saying there is a 95% chance that he is among the dead. U.S. officials had visual and other indicators that it was Masood. Pakistanis are now trying to collect physical evidence to be certain. If it is confirmed, the Obama administration has hit one of the most significant terrorist targets in years. For Pakistan, the strike could have a profound effect, says ABC's Nick Schifrin from Islamabad.
Undoubtedly, there would be new commanders to take Batullah Masood's place, but his death would give Pakistan a level of confidence that the Taliban isn't all-powerful and its leadership can be decapitated, and that would help push people here to take on the Taliban, and the fact is that the U.S. admits it needs Pakistani support to win this war.
Nuclear-armed Pakistan is an extremely important ally in fighting terrorism for the U.S., and if Masood is dead, it will not only make the Pakistanis safer, but the U.S. as well. Martha Raddatz, ABC News, Washington.
President Obama says despite huge financial challenges, he is optimistic about economic recovery. The president claims 1/3 of his $787 billion stimulus is going right back into Americans' pockets. And the job market is showing some bounce back. First-time jobless claims dropped last week, and the July unemployment report due today is expected to show job losses are slowing.
But the recession is far from over. A record 34.4 million Americans are now receiving food stamps. That is more than 10% of the population.
The president is praising the Senate for pumping another $2 billion into the Cash for Clunkers program. Consumers looking to dump old gas guzzlers can qualify for rebates of up to $4,500 to buy new fuel-efficient cars. Critics say the plan amounts to an expensive government handout. One Republican senator is calling it the Debt for Clunkers program.
The Senate changed 2 centuries of American history when it confirmed President Obama's first Supreme Court nominee. Judge Sonia Sotomayor is only the 3rd woman and the first Latina to be confirmed as a Supreme Court justice. Sotomayor won the support of all the Democrats, but only 9 Republicans.
I cannot support her nomination because I'm not persuaded that she has the right judicial philosophy to be on the Supreme Court.
We do have that power at the voting box, and we will remember those that voted no.
Hispanic groups say Republicans will pay a price for the partisan hearings, but Senate conservatives feel the Sotomayor controversy sent a message to the president about future Supreme Court nominees.
The victims of Tuesday night's shooting at a health club in suburban Pittsburgh are being remembered. Dozens of people paid tribute to the 3 women who were shot and killed at random by George Sedini. We are getting much more insight into the shooting from Sedini himself. Here's John Berman.
It is easy for me to hide from my emotions. It is easy for me to hide from my emotions for one more day.
George Sedini all alone before a camera.
And there you go, one more day. And one more day turns into one more year.
You hear the pain in his sigh. And on this YouTube video posted 1 year ago, you hear more of his obsession with younger women.
When I'm 10 to 20 years older than she is, you know, she has to feel good about this thing.
And in a second video during a house tour, this book, How to Date Young Women, for men over 35. One young woman he mentions coveting in his blog, neighbor Patricia Cohen's daughter.
You know, he was probably looking out his window and saw her getting in his car. I mean, that's my daughter he's talking about.
In a separate older website, crazygeorge.com, you see pictures of Sedini in happier times and an interview with himself asking, have you ever been in love? The answer, hell yeah, lots of times. I'm still single, so obviously nothing ever worked out.
I think he was conflicted. I think he wanted a relationship with women, but he was also rejected by women.
Sedini was a computer expert. He had several computers here at his home, and his digital trail is everywhere. Hidden in the code of his blog, ABC News found this message hinting at second thoughts on his murder plot. At the gym, I saw a woman I like. Occasionally, she makes good eye contact and smiles. To get a friend like her, and for nighttime action, I would cancel this plan. He didn't cancel his plan. His pain never gone. And this vigil is a reminder of the pain he left behind. John Berman, ABC News, Bridgeville, Pennsylvania.
Relatives of a New York woman who investigators say was driving under the influence when she killed herself and 7 others in a wrong-way crash say they are stunned by the accusations. An autopsy shows that Diane Schuler had consumed the equivalent of 10 drinks and smoked marijuana within an hour of the crash. But Schuler's husband says that is not possible.
She is not an alcoholic, and my heart is rested every night when I go to bed. Something medically had to happen.
It's hard for me to believe that the family did not know that this woman had an alcohol problem or a drug problem.
Substance abuse experts say close family members are often the last one to know about loved ones' problems. The family of 2 men killed in the crash say they'll use the tragedy to campaign against drunk driving.
Filmmaker John Hughes, who brought us some of the most memorable movies of the 80s and 90s, has died. His films, including The Breakfast Club and Ferris Bueller's Day Off, helped define a generation. He was also the man behind the popular Home Alone movie series. John Hughes died yesterday of a heart attack while walking here in New York City. He was just 59 years old.
The flashback of all the movies you love to watch when you're at home.
All day I was of a heart attack while walking here in New York City. He was just 59 years old.
The flashback of all the movies you love to watch when you're at home.
All day I was sort of remembering some of my favorite lines from John Hughes movies. There are too many to remember. So many great sort of adolescent films.
Yeah, all about teen angst.
Right.
All right, well, here's a look at your Friday forecast. Thunderstorms in the northern plains and the Midwest. Severe weather could hit Chicago, Fargo, and the Twin Cities. Heavy rain from Oregon to Montana, my lord. Gusty winds and the threat of wildfires in California and Nevada. And thunderstorms in Florida.
A high of 91 in Miami, 94 in Atlanta, 84 in New York today. Dallas climbs to 101. Omaha's 97, St. Louis is 90. Cooler out west today, 67 in Boise, 71 in Portland, and 82 for Sacramento.
Well, it was a catch of a lifetime for a fisherman off Maryland.
Robert Ferris hooked an enormous blue marlin at a fishing tournament. And when we say enormous, we mean it. Look at that thing. It tipped the scales at a record 1,062 pounds. Look at the crowd gathered around. It took Ferris and 4 friends to help reel in the whopper, and it took them 3 hours to do it. Well worth it, though. He gets a cash prize of $550,000.
Ooh, I need to get involved in this little event. And the good news is that marlin is not going to go to waste. It's going to be sent to a food bank to feed some needy families.
Lots of needy families. We'll be right back.
World News Now weather brought to you by Direct Buy.
Retailers don't want you to see the information about to be disclosed.
Hi, I'm Tony Galata. This is my wife, Carrie Galata. This is our house, my wife's dream house. And we furnish most everything in this house with products from Direct Buy. We purchased the breakfast table and chairs. We looked at that table at some other places.
They ran around $3,500 and we picked it up for around $1,500.
If you're building, remodeling, or simply redecorating a room, there's now a way to buy virtually everything you need at prices you never imagined possible.
We've saved, I think, well over $20,000.
Just on our kitchen alone, we saved almost $10,000.
It adds up to about a $30,000 to $40,000 savings overall.
Call the number on your screen now to receive your free insider's guide to buying direct. Plus, you'll also receive a free visitor's pass for an exclusive tour of your local Direct Buy showroom. Call right now to get started buying the Direct Buy way. Stop paying retail and become part of Direct Buy, the private members-only showroom and design center. Don't wait another minute. Pick up the phone and call now.
Day 87, and Tyler B is still in that aisle, determined to find the answer for his acne.
Kid, get a life. I'm trying. The truth is, acne, even when it's mild, is a medical condition.
Huh?
Medical as in doctor?
And that's how Tyler came to his senses, sort of. And that's how Tyler came to his senses, sort of, and learned about once-a-day prescription Epiduo gel. If you're not getting the results you want, ask your doctor about Epiduo, 2 of the most doctor-prescribed acne-fighting ingredients in one gel medication, a product you can't get in the acne aisle. Dryness, redness, peeling, stinging, burning, or itching may occur. Don't use irritating products when using Epiduo. Overexposure to sun lamps, extreme wind, or cold may increase the risk for irritation. Use of sunscreen and protective clothing is advised. Go to truthaboutzits.com and learn how to pay no more than $20 for your Epiduo prescription.
Awesome.
To learn more about Epiduo gel, talk to your doctor, call, or go to truthaboutzits.com.
In 2 days, I'm hosting a special 11 Nights of Millionaire.
ABC Sunday.
35 years ago tomorrow, President Richard Nixon, battered by the Watergate scandal, announced he had a message for the American people.
That night, ABC canceled all primetime programming, and at 9:01 p.m., Nixon resigned. From the ABC News Vault, here is our coverage from August 8th, 1974.
We are marking from as many and as good vantage points as we can a historic American night leading up to the time just an hour from now when President Richard Nixon is expected to announce that he will be the first American president to resign his office. This process that led up to tonight has been going on a long time, but it began to climax this week. When Mr. Nixon made his Watergate disclosures this Monday, it was once apparent that he was in much more trouble than he had been before. Members of the House and Senate, who had supported him through a lot of trouble, dropped their support and called for his resignation. The president stood fast, saying that although he knew his case was damaged and although he admitted responsibility for bad actions, he would let the constitutional process run its course. But by late yesterday, when 3 Republican leaders came to see him and then emerged from the White House saying that they had had a solemn conversation among 4 old friends, it was clear that the president's position was hopeless. Hugh Scott, the Republican leader of the Senate, told reporters that he had described the president the gloomy outlook on Capitol Hill, and Senator Barry Goldwater reportedly told the president that he could count on no more than 15 to 20 senators to vote against conviction if he was impeached by the House. He knew that he would need at least 34 votes to prevent conviction and removal from office in an impeachment trial. Well, since that meeting ended last night, events have moved very quickly, and although officials continued for some time to report that the president had reached no decision on resignation, there were increasing signs that he had. As the lights in the White House press office burned late last night, word leaked out that speechwriters had been told to draft a resignation statement. There was a visit to the White House last night and again this morning by Secretary of State Kissinger, the man who would, under the law, have to accept a presidential resignation letter. When Kissinger left, the president spent some time with his family, and some aides report that his daughters tried to talk him into continue toughing it out. An indication that at the very least the president understood the message from his House and Senate visitors and was seriously considering resignation as an option. By early this morning, the signs were even more visible. Vice President Gerald Ford's office announced that a trip to the West Coast and Hawaii planned by the vice president was being postponed. A short time later, Mr. Ford was summoned to the White House. He spent an hour and 10 minutes with the president. As they met in the Oval Office, a breathless White House aide, who refused to be identified, confirmed that Mr. Ford was being told of President Nixon's decision to resign and make Jerry Ford president. A few minutes after noon, the vice president left the White House. Newsmen were called to the press briefing room, and News Secretary Ronald Ziegler, one of the few aides who remained with Mr. Nixon since the beginning, announced that the president would address the nation tonight at 9 o'clock Washington time. He said further the president would meet with congressional leaders early this evening. It wasn't long this afternoon before word came out of Capitol Hill that Gerald Ford would be sworn in as president probably tomorrow. So it appears that in slightly less than an hour from now, Mr. Nixon will announce his plans to resign as the 37th President of the United States. And tomorrow, with part of his family, he will make the flight to California on an Air Force plane, but maybe not Air Force One. Howard?
In just a moment now, the President of the United States will begin his speech, perhaps his last speech from the White House, and we'll see him in just a few moments. We have 40 seconds to go now. The President has taken his place at the table in the White House where he's going to speak. This is, everyone assumes, a speech in which he's going to state his reasons for changing his mind and possibly his reasons for resigning from the high office. Here now, the next picture will be the President of the United States.
I have never been a quitter. To leave office before my term is completed is abhorrent to every instinct in my body. But as President, I must put the interests of America first. America needs a full-time president and a full-time Congress, particularly at this time with problems we face at home and abroad. To continue to fight through the months ahead for my personal vindication would almost totally absorb the time and attention of both the President and the Congress in a period when our entire focus should be on the great issues of peace abroad and prosperity without inflation at home. Therefore, I shall resign the presidency effective at noon tomorrow. Therefore, I shall resign the presidency effective at noon tomorrow. Vice President Ford will be sworn in as president at that hour in this office.
Such a famous speech, and as a lot of people know now, he cried before he delivered that speech. He was in the cabinet room with other senators. He cried, left the room, and then they started crying.
Yeah, very somber moment in American history when you look back at it like that, and you see how it was actually played out on television 35 years ago. But he never confessed, really, either. He said that his judgments were wrong some of the time, but he never really confessed to the high crimes and misdemeanors that he was accused of. So.
Yeah.
Hard to believe, 35 years ago.
Well, in a moment, why you'll see less of Jay Leno in primetime.
Yeah, less of him. And what Simon Cowell thinks about Paula Abdul's idle time. The Skinny starts in a minute.
ABC's World News Now will continue after this from our ABC stations.
By Factory Direct. Half-carat journey pendants, circles, and bracelets are $179. 1-carat top white studs and 3-stone rings $599. 2-carat $19.90. Plus no interest for 6 months. By Direct, the jewelry exchange in Bethesda.
There is a little bit of sibling rivalry there. It's a friendly sibling rivalry.
Yeah, both Jason and I actually took the same ITT Tech classes. Actually, my first class, I walked in and there was my brother.
Wish that I could have had as much success as they are having at such a young age.
Awesome.
We are educators helping people build a foundation for the rest of their lives. ITT Technical Institute, education for the future.
To find out more, call 1-800-980-4997.
Tonight at 11, Budgeting Basics.
Kids can overspend.
Don't send your kids to college without Money 101.
You have to know how much you can afford.
The crash course every student needs to stay debt-free. ABC 2 News tonight on your set, net, and cell.
Skinny time, the Paula Abdul fallout continues. The whole American Idol debacle. There's some new talk that maybe this isn't a done deal yet, and perhaps she will show up back on the show. There's still some hubbub about that. We don't know about that, but we do know, according to Paula, that Simon Cowell already misses her. TMZ caught up with Paula at JFK Airport yesterday. Of course, sort of the first interaction with her, except for the Twitter interaction, where she was able to talk about this, and she did talk to them briefly about the situation.
It's been overwhelming what's going on right now, so I have to really carefully think about everything.
There she was at the airport, first post-Idol interview. We do know that a couple of people are going to sort of fill the gap, at least temporarily, to help judge on the show. A couple of famous faces that you know quite well. Katy Perry is going to help out, and so is Victoria Beckham. Posh Spice, if you will. And is Victoria Beckham. Posh Spice, if you will. And there are, again, some rumors that Posh might be the permanent judge. Yeah, so how about that?
What a random pick.
Well, she's, she's got music experience.
Of course, yeah, no, that wouldn't have been someone that would have leapt to mind.
But then again, I'm not sure Paula Abdul would have been my first choice when I was starting
You're right.
this show.
So Jay Leno, I didn't even realize this, but apparently he has really slimmed down. You may have seen pictures of him by now, but he's lost something like 12 pounds.
Not bad.
And he says it was a result of both a hospitalization for exhaustion and also that, of course, really emotional goodbye to the Tonight Show.
Wait, is that before?
That was the before, and this is the after. It's kind of hard to see it, but when you really look, you can see it really along his jawline.
Yes.
He says he's been working out a ton, running 4 miles a day, but it's also part of his whole new look. His hair is longer and fluffier, and there's a little bit more silver in it. Instead of that black patch in the middle of his forehead, it's kind of faded away, and he's even more tan. So a leaner Leno, looking
Tanner
good.
And well rested.
I guess prime time means you have to look better, which is why we're overnight. That's why they put us on this shit.
God forbid they ever put us there. What would we do? Hey, Steven Tyler not looking so good. He was rushed to the hospital after he fell, and we're going to show it to you not once, but not twice, probably 4 or 5 times. Here it is. He's on stage. There's the tumble off stage. Here it is again. This all happened in South Dakota during a concert. He had to be airlifted to a nearby hospital after the fall, suffering minor head, neck, and shoulder injuries. Unfortunately, it's sort of blurry cell phone camera video that we have right here, but you get the picture. There he is, rocking and rolling and moving and grooving. And then he takes a terrible tumble. He's 61 years old, so maybe he shouldn't be rocking and rolling quite so hard. But
just like Bret Michaels. It's not a good time right now to be an aging rock star, is it?
He's learning his lesson. There he is.
Last but not least, you probably don't care, but we're going to show it to you anyway. This is Dustin Diamond's new cover, of course, Screech. Yes. And he's writing that book, Behind the Bell, which hit shelves September 29th.
The tell-all.
Cover makes me not want to read it anymore.
Yeah. Scary.
When morning comes in the middle of the night, it affects your entire day. To get a good night's sleep, try 2-layer Ambient CR. The first layer dissolves quickly to help you fall asleep. And unlike other sleep aids, a second dissolves slowly to help you stay asleep. When taking Ambient CR, don't drive or operate machinery. Sleepwalking and eating or driving while not fully awake with memory loss for the event, as well as abnormal behaviors such as being more outgoing or aggressive than normal, confusion, agitation, and hallucinations may occur. Don't take it with alcohol as it may increase these behaviors. Allergic reactions such as shortness of breath, swelling of your tongue or throat may occur and in rare cases may be fatal. Side effects may include next-day drowsiness, dizziness, and headache. In patients with depression, worsening of depression, including risk of suicide, may occur. If you experience any of these behaviors or reactions, contact your doctor immediately. Wake up ready for your day. Ask your healthcare provider for 2-layer Ambient CR.
Important news for diabetics on Medicare.
I'm a diabetic, and I want you to know over 230,000 U.S. doctors have authorized their patients to receive their diabetic supplies through Liberty Medical. And that begins with the One Touch Ultra 2 meter, easy to use, fast results at no additional cost. Liberty helps keep you on track by delivering diabetic supplies to your door and filing your claims.
I never feel I'm going to run out of anything.
With Liberty, I always have someone to talk to, and now they refill all my prescriptions.
Call now to receive a diabetic cookbook free.
Call to receive the One Touch Ultra 2 meter at no additional cost and find out why 230,000 U.S. doctors and over 1 million people with diabetes trust Liberty Medical.
Liberty, we deliver better health. Call now.
Call Liberty Medical today at 1-800-370-7576. That's 1-800-370-7576.
Retailers don't want you to see the information about to be disclosed.
Hi, I'm Tony Galata. This is my wife, Carrie Galata. This is our house, my wife's dream house. And we furnish most everything in this house with products from Direct Buy. We purchased the breakfast table and chairs. We looked at that table in some other places.
They ran around $3,500 and we picked it up for around $1,500.
If you're building, remodeling, or simply redecorating a room, there's now a way to buy virtually everything you need at prices you never imagined possible.
We've saved, I think, well over $20,000.
Just on our kitchen alone, we saved almost $10,000.
It adds up to about a $30,000 to $40,000 savings overall.
Call the number on your screen now to receive your free insider's guide to buying direct. Plus, you'll also receive a free visitor's pass for an exclusive tour of your local Direct Buy showroom. Call right now to get started buying the Direct Buy way. Stop paying retail and become part of Direct Buy, the private members-only showroom and design center. Don't wait another minute. Pick up the phone and call now.
Here's some stories to watch today on ABC News. Doctors launched the first swine flu vaccine tests on the U.S. on volunteers today, while federal public health leaders release guidelines for schools in preventing infection. The Labor Department releases last month's unemployment figures today. Analysts are predicting a slight increase, and Asian stock markets are already lower in anticipation of this report. And Secretary of State Hillary Clinton continues her South African tour today, meeting with former President Nelson Mandela.
Finally, this half hour, the popular social networking site Twitter fell silent on Thursday. No more tweets. It seems to have been a cyber attack by one side or another in the conflict between Russia and Georgia.
Wow, still the outage shows how vulnerable websites can be and how dependent we are on them. Here's Bill Weir.
How do you confirm that Twitter is down when Twitter is down?
Bill Weir.
How do you confirm that Twitter is down when Twitter is down? That was the modern dilemma for millions who use it to engage the world with mini messages known as tweets. On the rare occasion of too many tweets, the site's error message is a lovable fail whale. But the crash swallowed even the whale. And Facebook was also slow, all the result of an apparent denial of service cyber attack. Unknown hackers likely used malicious email to gain remote control of thousands of computers and then directed them to swamp the social network servers.
There may be some blackmail involved. It may be a prank or just to prove that this type of attack can happen, and it may be a competitive action.
With more than 40 million users, Twitter is the world's fastest growing form of communication. Politicians and celebrities tweet major announcements like Paula Abdul's American Idol departure. And Iran is still reeling after election protesters used Twitter to organize. All of this thanks to a 3-year-old company run by a handful of young .com upstarts from a small San Francisco loft.
What we're seeing with Twitter is that people are, in general, good, and they want to do good things.
But all it takes is one hacker to upset the good-natured routine of millions. And after the site recovered, I asked how everyone survived the twit apocalypse. Our own Jake Tapper says, I went through twit withdrawal. While Ethan Higginbotham saw the sun for the first time in weeks. It burns. And while Farf's girl says, I actually did the job I get paid for. But most complain they got nothing done, because every 2 minutes, they had to check on Twitter. Bill Weir, ABC News, New York.
Aha! So people sit at work all day and update their Twitter status. But if you're doing nothing but updating your Twitter status, what do you tweet?
I'm updating my Twitter.
Repeatedly. You find new ways to say it, I guess.
Neither of us are Twitterers.
No,
tweeters. I don't know what
to.
Yeah.
If we can get Peter Grimm on board, then maybe. Because I want to know what he's doing all day long.
Counting us down like this.
That's right. More is coming up.
HCR Manor Care is the proven leader in outcomes. We focus on short-term rehab, and the goal for us is to return patients home.
We offer physical, occupational, and speech therapy, and it's broken down based upon what the individual needs of the patient are. Our goal is to get them back to the level that they were at. So for us, it's very rewarding. I mean, it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And we have such a great return to home success rate in this facility that we get to see that every day, and that's wonderful.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson. If you or a loved one was diagnosed with mesothelioma, call the number on your screen now. Mesothelioma and other asbestos-related diseases such as lung cancer have been directly linked to asbestos exposure. Exposure to asbestos in mills, shipyards, or in the heating, automotive, and construction industries may have put you at risk. If you or a loved one was diagnosed with mesothelioma, call the number on your screen now for a free legal consultation. Secondhand exposure to asbestos may have also put loved ones at risk for mesothelioma or lung cancer. If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma or lung cancer, please don't wait. Call today for your free legal consultation. You may be entitled to compensation. We're standing by to take your call in confidence.
Call 1-800-794-4324. Don't delay. That's 1-800-794-4324.
Starting a new garden doesn't have to be backbreaking. Not when you have the Mantis Tiller Cultivator. It does all the hard work for you. The powerful two-cycle engine spins the patented tines deep into the soil. It cuts through the hardest clay and tangled weeds, yet maneuvers nimbly through the tightest spaces. Now get this amazing Mantis at huge factory direct savings. Plus, we'll give you this border edger free. Call now.